Hi, my name is Frank J. Garcia, and this is my lesson video on ecology. So let's get a background real quick. Ecology deals with the relation of organisms to one another and their physical surroundings. Like the classification of living things, this lesson involves categorizing the world around us. However, the categorizing includes both living and non-living things. Just like the kingdom is the largest of the classifications, ecosystem you can think of the ecosystem as also the largest. Some questions to remember. What do you think you will find in an ecosystem? What do you think is the lowest level of an ecosystem? We're going to find that out right now. The organism. The organism, the innermost area within an ecology. Begins with a single. The innermost area of an ecology begins with a single organism. Recall that an organism is a living thing. Is a living thing. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and switch that up right now, just so you guys get an emphasis on it. A living thing. For example, we will start with a bear cub. Of course, a rock would not be considered an organism, considering it is not a living thing. An organism is any one organism that makes up an ecosystem. Now, what happens when you put a few of these organisms together? You get a population. A population is a group of that same organism. For instance, the single bear cub we started with. Darn it. Sorry about that. The single the single bear cub we started with can now be grouped with his parents, siblings, and other bears. A group of bears is called a sleuth. Since a population is a group of the same animal, in this case bears, any wolves and mooses cannot be added to this population because the population is all the same species, is all of the same animal. Therefore, other types of bears could be in this population. Older bears, younger bears, but unfortunately, other animals, such as the wolves and the moose, or fish, birds, cannot be added to this population, considering it is one type of animal. However, when you get groups of populations, so when you get a herd of moose, a pack of wolves, a sleuth of bears, and even trees, you get a community. Different populations that group together that form different organisms that group into their own populations that once those are grouped together create a community. So at this point, of course, non-living things cannot be considered part of the community. Community is only made up of living things, hence why trees are considered part of a community. Lastly, we have the largest level, which is the ecosystem. The ecosystem, now we consider non-living things. Up at this point, we have a community. Quick breakdown: a community which is made up of wolves, bears, made up of populations, made up of a single living organism, and also that so an ecosystem includes everything found in a community, but also non-living things as well. Sunlight, temperature, moon, mountains, rocks, clouds, and water are all considered living things, and will be found in an ecosystem along with living things. Again, an ecosystem is a collection of living things and non-living things. In an ecosystem, you will have competitions where two animals compete. The best example is wolves and bears competing over food sources. Or another example would be flowers and grass competing for sunlight. So of course a wolf cannot compete with a deer for cannot compete with the deer considering they eat different substances. And that is my video on ecology. Thank you for watching.